All right. It's that time. It's time for Beyond Sight and Sound. Let's do this.
Hey boys and girls, we are going to talk about S&W shooters and prospectors. What is S&W shooters and prospectors?
We at S&W Shooters and Prospectors help people find treasure.
Did you say treasure?
Yes, treasure. Just listen to this amazing review from our happy customer, Jackie Sparrow.
Chocolate ship-shape and a pleasure to deal with. I was able to buy everything that I needed at prices that were shillings less than others. I found my 9 pieces of 8 in no time. Savvy?
I know you're asking yourself, why should I shop at S&W Shooter and Prospectors?
Chuck Smalley has over 45 years of metal detecting experience. He works with each customer one-on-one to customize their setup to match their skill level.
So if you always dreamt of being a pirate, contact Chuck at S&W Shooters and Prospectors and he'll dig up a great deal for you.
Eye patch and rum not included.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show.
All right. We're back. We are back. And we're live. Let's see. Hey, fashionably late or not at all? Well, I think we'll take fashionably late. That's just the way it goes. So let me see what I've got going on here because I got a lot of things going on my screen. Let's get Chuck in here. He's fresh back from Aruba, sporting a suntan and all.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't get away from the suntan. Average daytime temps were 86, 87. In the evening, I got it cooled down to a whopping 78. We saw no rain.
Wow.
None. It was nice.
Wow.
It really was. But you really had to be careful out in the sun because the trade winds were blowing good, and that dries you out. And then the sun, the reflection of the ocean, we did have like 4 days where the wind had laid down and got calm, and we're able to work some beaches and got into some goodies, and we had a good time, and nice place.
Nice. Big question. Did you get your internet upgraded? You sound different.
Yes, I did. The internet has been upgraded.
Nice. Good. And speaking of upgrading, we're going to upgrade to a 3-way screen here because we've got a guest on with us tonight, Chuck.
Yeah. Welcome, Jason.
And He's raring to go. So we'll try to get him onto the screen here too. Here we go.
Hello, everyone.
There's the man.
Hey,
How's it going,
buddy.
Jason?
Hello.
All right. So we did. We
Nice plaid.
pulled it off. We got 3 of us off the ground here. And the chat, it's flying like a ticker tape on the YouTube site. Good Lord.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know. They're
rolling.
drinking
on. We
Monster or something. They're all wired up.
Large in and all our good friends. Pacifico made it.
I'm pretty sure there's a few people in there that have had way too many Reese cups before the show. Because they're just wired up. It's crazy. Wow.
Yep.
Looks like things have slowed down a little bit. Okay.
We got the whole crew.
Yeah. So Mike.
Mike.
Yeah.
42. He's picking numbers already. What's going on with that?
Oh, it's hard to say. You got to keep an eye on Mike. He's got a few tricks up his sleeve that he's going to be letting loose with here pretty soon. But I even saw we got Jason Weir in the chat too.
Oh yeah.
Huh. Well, that works all right. Definitely. So it looks like we're going to have quite the blending of the show, because Jason's he's taking a shot at that Shooters and Prospectors shirt. And we figured we'd wait until you got back from Aruba. And
oh my gosh, that's a class. Oh, check it out. Amazing.
What do you wear? Large or extra large?
Give me an extra large in case I has a little bit of shrinkage. That'd be great.
Okay. Yeah, it
yeah,
is.
it could shrink.
Don't tumble dry it. But I've got an XL here.
Thank you.
No
Yeah,
problem.
you may want to let that drip dry.
Chuck, did you get some MANTICORE action in?
Yes, I did. And I used the.
He did. Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Get it in the camera there. A little gold blingy.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, we did good. 18K.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Good job.
18K.
Good
Now,
job.
We got this. This came up out of coral, and I got it down to this point, and it's platinum. We couldn't see it before, so. And then the rest of it is mid-range down to, oh my God, junk. This is what your silver looks like when it comes up. Let's see if I get it over here. That's crusted silver. That's just what it is.
Give me a minute, Chuck. Give me a minute, Chuck, and I'll go ahead and put you on the screen on your own, and that way people can get a better better view.
I don't want to take away from Jason.
No,
those finds.
This is a joint show tonight. I want to hear about you too, because I know you got a lot of cool finds.
Oh, I had a good week. Not as good as some of the others. Some of the others really could get much deeper on hookah systems, and they did well. They did well.
I'm gonna drop off the screen so that way that'll give you a little bigger view for the followers. That way they can see those finds a little better.
Yeah, we had a good trip, and you know, that is, I believe, titanium yin yang ring with a gold insert, and of course you never get both earrings, and you get some blingy stuff floating around there. So it was a pretty good week. A little Pandora ring each. That type of stuff. Silver insert with some sort of a Pandora, whatever Pandora puts on them. And had a lot of fun. Tiny gold earring. And Some of it was challenging because of the surf action. And let me tell you, if you catch the surf wrong and there isn't a lot of chuck there, bouncing up the beach isn't fun. Butt over elbows one time. I thought I had it locked in, but it picked me up, spit me out, and I said, well, enough of that in this trench. I'll go back up on the wet sand. So, hey, Barb, I just got all brand new internet. Upgraded. So, let's see. ORH charged me for second bag. Not quite, but I had a good time. I did get into the gold a little bit. Others did a little better. Others didn't do as well. They got mostly silver, but the silver gets crusted up, and it's challenging. And the MANTICORE did well, and I switched from the large coil down to the 8-inch, and that's when I started hitting the smaller gold and the fine gold ring and that ring set. These two pieces. This is a set. Jill's the one that explained it to me. They were 30 feet apart. I got those two pieces. So, yeah, Jill's shopping bag took the extra bag. Yep. I was putting stuff in my luggage to keep her weight down on that bag. Well, a lot of fun.
Chuck, did you have any competition out there? A lot of people out detecting?
There were, yes. We ran into quite a few at certain places. Other places, we were the only ones. So, with that being said, yeah, a lot of people go down there and detect. The big hotel row, God, that piece of beach is a couple miles long.
Oh, wow.
And at noontime, you couldn't walk. We quit detecting, generally around noon to 1. It was just so heavy with traffic and people out there. It was crazy. And as I said before I left, I worked out the bottle cap problem. I wasn't finding many of them at all. But they're there, and they got the zinc coating, and we had that kind of narrow down the sound and what it did on the MANTICORE with the 8-inch, the crackling sound. I'd spot check them to make sure I was digging the right thought, Had a lot of fun. Spent a lot of hours in the sun. The first week, I just kind of eased into it.
Never hurts to double check.
That sun's wicked, Jason. That sun is wicked, buddy. Whew. Man.
All my friends that go on cruises down there, they always come back just red.
Yeah. I was laying on the lotion. I wore an SPF shirt that was about elbow length, rolled up, and got in the water and mid waist deep to about chest deep if the surf wasn't bad. If the surf was bad, there's a cut where that surf rolls in, and I try to work that cut. And other guys were wading deep and using hookahs, and they did pretty well with the hookahs, and they were finding some good stuff. We had a lot of fun. And Chicago Ron's tour was a very nice trip.
Well, I know there were a number of us back here that just, it was heartbreaking to see you have to deal with so much grief and stress, having to deal with all that winter and no rain.
I was under the gun to get into the gold, and the first week I hadn't. The second week I did.
There you go.
Josh, I don't know about you, Josh, but seeing all that gear when he first went live, first time in his little place he was staying at, all that gear lined up. Oh my gosh!
Right? Yeah, it was like a detector dealer store right there.
Well, I talked to a lot of people that came up asking. So, but I did talk with one gentleman on the beach. He'd been coming there for over 20 years, and he'd been detecting about 15 years of that, and he off and on done pretty well. And we got there at the tail end of the conference. The International Diamond Merchants show is there every year. And if you go downtown, about every third store is a jewelry shop. I'm serious. And It's crazy.
That makes for a lot of nice deposits on the beach, I'm sure.
Yeah, and a lot of recoveries got made. Ron did several. In fact,
yeah,
we were just a little ways apart, and this gal was messing with her necklace, and she lost the charm off of it. Mom called Ron over. She saw him. He found it. Took him 5 minutes. Nice little gold charm.
Oh wow!
He recovered that.
Nice. Well, I can just imagine the way some people would have been. 10 years ago, you were out for a morning beach hunt with a group of us there in Chicago.
Yeah.
And after you had left, and I don't know, you may have even seen that gentleman on the beach, but there had been a guy on the beach hunting with a bounty hunter and a plastic sand scoop.
Uh-huh.
And we had been out there hunting, the rest of us. And on our way out, we stop at this like a lemon shake-up stand. Ron wanted to get something to drink. And he was running his GPX. Ron was.
Mm-hmm.
We had 2 CTXs and a Deus, as well as our beach scoops. And as we were walking off the beach, that gentleman that had been running that bounty hunter and that plastic sand scoop, he was just staring at us as we walked by, and Ron's just laughing. He says, "Did you see that? That guy's looking at us like we're the dream team or something, because he's got his bounty hunter and his plastic scoop, and we're rolling with like 10 grand in gear."
Well, I don't know how many times I got asked. They come up, "Are you finding anything?" Mostly coins, and I pull out some different things and talk to us, and almost always, "What's the best thing you ever found?" And I gave them my typical answer, "My wife." And they just look at you, and then the wife of the guy asking is generally laughing. She goes, "Good response."
Good answer.
So that's what I always tell them. "Oh, found my wife. She lets me come wander around on the beach."
You know, every video, Chuck, you see these guys on the beach, and they're always finding cell phones for people that have lost their cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
The girls come up and say, "Hey, hey, I lost my phone. Can you help me?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ron recovered a cell phone, but it may have been in the water. That was out of the water. It wasn't crusty, but I think I'd been in long enough. It was an iPhone that it probably was. They were trying to dry it out, see if it'd power up. If they could power up, they might find the owner. Yeah. I don't believe it ever powered up.
No.
Well, there's a lot to be said for those life-proof cases. They're expensive, but they're worth it.
The wife had one of those for her phone. My phone doesn't travel with me along the beach. I don't very much. I went down and did a sunset the one night, and then at the one beach I did the go live. I had it with me. After that, I leave it behind. I don't take anything of any great value out in the water with me, and then I've got a clip on my waistband for the pouch to hold the detector, and the pouch tight and a good hand on the scoop. The scoop handle was made to float, and it does. It comes up if you drop it.
Chuck, I use a GoPro on my hat a lot of times. Do you have a GoPro that you use?
Yeah, I do have a GoPro, but I don't put it on the hat band, and I can't get it to quite center and do what I want it to do. So I did some GoPro shooting, but it's not good. I'm not a videographer. I'll do a go live and let people know what we're doing and how we're doing, or what we just dug up, that kind of stuff, and do my go lives. And the one go live of the girls shopping had a couple thousand hits right away. The other go live down on the beach had 9,000.
Right, they figured you were fixing to show off some more gold.
There you go. So it was a good trip, and a little teaser for you all back here in the not so cold Midwest while we were gone anyway.
Right. Yeah, that's true. We had record highs. And I'm sure Jason had them too.
I did. I always, like you, Chuck, I go live with my camera more than I do anything else because, all my friends look forward to seeing it, what I find, silver all the time, mercury dime, you can bet on Google Live. But I don't get that jinx, that
There you go.
Google Live jinx. A lot of times they'll say, hey, I feel confident. This is the signal, because it never fails. I always mess that one up. So I can't.
Yeah. So, and how long have you been detecting, Jason?
Since about 99.
Right.
My first metal detector was the Explorer XS.
Oh, good.
Ooh, nice.
I still have it. I mean, it's great. It's deep, but it's slow.
Yeah.
But nothing wrong with slow. Slow and go. Slow and go. Yeah, that's it.
Yep. Little on the heavy side.
Well, you made a good choice to start out with.
Yes. And then I had a White's Coin Master, and of course I got the CTX and the Deus and the the Equinox 800, but I haven't got the MANTICORE yet. And I've been watching the MANTICORE, and I've been watching that Nocta Legend too.
The Legend isn't bad. The MANTICORE's good.
Just about. But I'm a mind nav guy. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah. The thing about it, we have some great machines out there. I like that MANTICORE. That MANTICORE did me well on the beach. And if Frank's in the house, I used his Aquatex this time, and they did very well.
He is in the house.
Yeah, and Aquatex did well. So, it was a good compliment to the MANTICORE, and I did all right with it. And it rolled up the beach with me and survived that.
Nice. So it can take a beating.
Yeah, and give it back.
Yeah. So if you got in 99 with the Explorer XS, Jason, what prompted you to start out with the XS?
YouTube videos. There's always videos, and I've been a member of the club, Topeka Treasure Hunters Club. We got a national hunt coming up too, by the way. But that's what got me started. Everybody, all the things that I watched, early websites talked a lot about it and just turned me on, just lit me up. But I also wanted to try the whites. I wanted to give two different things to try, but MindLab was the best. And it seemed like silver, man. I don't know about you guys, those that use MindLab, but the XS is probably one of the better MindLab silver finders you can find. It's deep, but you got to go low and slow. You have to go low and slow.
Yep, and you have to pay attention because it's a different setup. You had that kind of an S curve.
Yes.
Right. Different beast than the CTX.
Yeah. And they straightened that out to that 12 line into once the SE Pro, then it moved to the E-Track and
E-Track. Yep.
SE Pro was killer too. It was deep. It was a deep machine.
Yeah.
I think it was deeper than the E-Track.
Yeah. But,
it's a very good possibility.
And I had a small coil and a large coil, but that's about all I had. And then I got an E-Track too. I got an E-Track that I use. I got when the E-Track come out, everybody talked about how faster it was. It was a little bit faster, better processors, and I liked it. It was great, and I still like it today. It's part of the arsenal. It is.
And that's the serious detectors has an arsenal.
Yes.
And they roll with. I know one gentleman I talked to today from Florida, and he's wanting the 900. He has a Legend. He has a Deus 2, and now he wants to go into the Equinox 900. And he was asking my opinion, what would be the best between the 900 and MANTICORE. And I said, if you're just starting with the MindLab, let's go the 900. It's easier. And I explained the difference of the 2D screen and what you see, but I think the 900 would be your first good step into it, and you get the 6-inch coil with it. And he says he's got a buddy that's using it, and his buddy's kind of kicking his backside.
And I still say that the MANTICORE can be a killer machine, especially if it's tweaked and tuned, but it's not necessarily for somebody just getting into the hobby.
Right. I did learn something down there on that particular beach in that particular area. I had the sensitivity up a little high for a while. That beach was pretty well loaded. So I switched over. I dropped the sensitivity to about a 22 setting. I switched over to all metal all the time. I ran all metal so I could hear. I could hear.
You want to hear it.
Yep. Yep. And I ran all metal all the time after that. And it did very well. And it got some really small, deep things. Now I had a small gold earring with a little stone in it, little like a moss agate or something. And it pinged that. I mean, it would ping that tiny stuff very well. And I'm trying to recover it in the scoop, and it isn't working. And I could see in the water it glitter. And finally I
slipped right through.
And I had to go down for it about 3 feet and grab a handful, and I got it and brought it up. They slipped right through, and a couple other small ones gave me some frustration too in the water. And but other than that, it picked them up well.
Yeah,
banged them.
Right on.
Nice.
All the fun. I don't get to beach on a lot, so all of it to me is relearning what I need to know while I'm out there.
Right.
And I mean, the coinage down there, you've got Panama, you got Netherlands, you got Aruba coins, you've got pesos,
euros, pesos, American.
Yeah, some more down there. I mean, around here, we had a lot of railroads across Kansas. So I hunt a lot of old parks that had railroads across through very close to them. And you'd be surprised the coinage I find from South America, because a lot of the immigrants that come in railroads, and they were putting those railroad lines in.
Yeah, absolutely.
One Aruba coin that was, and they used 75% silver. It was pre-1960. And it was just a big black blob, and I just threw it in the bag. When I brought it home, I cracked it open, and it's well salt damaged.
Yeah, cookie coin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So when, and I'm sure it probably wouldn't take him but a minute to think of this, but once you got out with your excess, what was that first that just really shocking find for you, Jason?
I'm not gonna lie to you. When I first got out there, I was hitting, like a lot of detectors you use, when you get into, the entry level, I was hitting wheat pennies like crazy. But the first awesome coin that I found was of course, the Indian head penny. Barb, the Indian head penny. But yeah, and I love, I don't know about you guys, but around here, it's seeded, it's Indian head pennies, and it's mercury dimes, and it's standing Liberty quarters. You get lucky and you find the halves a lot, walking Liberties. The Morgans, man, around here, you get lucky if you find a Morgan. They've all been found. I can't say all of them, but I got to really look hard for them. You got to really study your plat maps and all that.
Do your research.
You got to really get into looking, because everybody's got a metal detector around here. And in my club, our club consists of about 65 members.
Ooh.
And we're all hunting.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, no. And we're all pretty active, and we have a fines board, like all. I'm sure Illinois has probably got something close to that too, Josh. They have a fines board, and they hand out nice silver coins, for the ones that do great each month. And
Chuck's seen some very impressive finds at some of the club meetings.
Yeah,
a few of them he showed himself.
And here in Kansas, we have, we only have a couple, really, really known military bases from Civil War times. We got Fort Leavenworth, which everybody hears about that. And then down there in Fort Scott, we have the old Fort Scott, which was a high traffic area for Civil War times. Lots of CS belt buckles there, you name it, everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
yeah.
you kind of do you fancy yourself as more of a relic hunter then, or coin shooter?
No, see, Fort Scott's a drive for me. I do go down there. I don't go to Fort Leavenworth much because that base is like off limits. You really can't get in there for nothing. And just like
well, you can get in there. There's just no telling when you may get out.
Fort Riley, they don't want you in there at all because most of that ground's artillery ground where they've been shooting shells for years. They don't want you in that at all.
Oh yeah, liability.
But when I get down to Fort Scott, all the area up against Fort Scott is places where the soldiers used to camp at. It's not just the actual old base itself. I mean, there's plenty of fields I can hunt, but it's just that.
Right. So like down around there, it's not necessarily all on government land anymore. Some of that's on private land that you can gain access to. Nice.
But man, when you get in there and you drool, at the ground, you think in your mind, oh my gosh, this is it. Let me hunt this. And those guides that are there, those park rangers there, they just look at you and say, just try
it. Yeah. You go right ahead. You just keep thinking that.
Yeah. But we have fun. And I don't go down there a whole lot. I mean, because it's like about a 2-hour drive. Well, a little more than that. But once in a while, I go down there. Some guys will invite me down around Pittsburgh, Kansas, and I'll hunt. I do most of my detecting around here is parks, old houses. Nowadays, it's about the old houses. The parks are getting 100.
Nothing wrong with the old home sites.
Yes, and I door knock a lot. I get yeses and I get nos. It's all about the smile. It's about being polite, and especially about showing them what you find. And giving them the option of taking something that might mean something to them.
Right.
Good
job. Very, very good points. And going with that train of thought, I bet you get more yeses than nos.
I do. I mean, there's always a few. You'd be surprised. Sometimes you get an exceptionally nice house and they'll tell you no. But other times you get a real nice place and they'll say, hey, we don't care. Go ahead. They don't care about sacrificing the yard. I cover my holes up, but people around here, they take so much pride in their yard, they don't let nobody in there. Nobody.
Me and a buddy we were out hunting one day in another village, and we hadn't been out but maybe 20 minutes when somebody stops and they're like, hey, you finding much? I said, well, no, but to be quite honest, we just got here. Said, oh, well, if you get bored, here's my address. I live up on Main Street. My house was built in the 1800s. You guys just come on by and see what you can find. I'll even take you through the house and show you the old woodwork and everything if you'd like.
Nice.
Wow. Okay, that's the first time I've ever been drug off of a permission to go to another one.
Yeah. Here in Kansas, we have our schools are all public, so anything public is okay to metal detect on.
Right, free game.
So it's free game. And the police department around here, a couple of them are metal detecting fanatics, and they will come by and they'll check on you and see how you're doing. And one of my favorite finds I found, we have an old college that is currently the high school, but before the high school, it was an old Camel College from back in 1917. And I found
nice
3 Merry Widows condom tin about 5 foot from the bell tower on that grounds. And I'm thinking, oh my God, the history this could tell me, because it's on the college ground.
Oh yeah. You know you're in a good spot.
There you go.
3 Merry Widows. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys find those, or they're everywhere, but it's just neat. It's really neat when you can find them. It really is, especially when they're complete. The complete tin, you can actually see the emblem. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Up to this date, what is your favorite find?
Oh, my favorite find
doesn't have to necessarily be the most valuable.
Yeah, it's valuable too, but I was in a park in an old railroad town again, and I found an 1864 Peruvian half real, and I thought it was seeded because when I pulled it up, that's the first thing I seen. It was amazing to pull.
Good job.
Inches, and I mean, I thought for sure it was sweet. I mean, you knew it was silver, but it was faint one way and not faint the other way, and it was mixed because there's some iron in the ground too. But I knew it was down there. And of course, being a Mine Lab fan, I'm doing the profine.
Yeah, I was gonna say if there was iron down in there with it, and he was picking up on it and knew there was something there, he must have been running a mine lab.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But that was my favorite. You know, I took it to the club meeting, and everybody's just ecstatic. They couldn't believe it. You know, I had it folded up in a, and I passed it around, and they're like, "You found this in a park?" Because, you know, having coins like that in Kansas, you got to think, you know, all day long it had to be railroad workers that were working they were putting in around here is the Rock Island Railroad. That was one of the older ones. You're probably familiar with that, Josh, because they run up that way too, the Rock Island. Yeah, but that was my favorite by far. I mean, sure, the seated are great too, but I had a lot of fun. And that thing, it's small.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's always great to find a seated, but to hit something like Al up in your area, that's very respectable, very commendable. Good job.
And I found some flying eagle sins, but here they're destroyed. I mean, when you pull those out, you really have to, you about have to use electrolysis, which I've got an electrolysis unit just to bring out a hint of the eagle.
The detail.
Yeah. I mean, it's the ground here is just ruins them. If it's a field, it's the fertilizer, it's the anhydrous. All the
the anhydrous and all the other chemicals and fertilizers, they're just not good to them.
But it's fun, and I found, you know, I found quite a rotation. Sure, there's some white whales that I haven't got to yet, but you know, but
the Rock Island, Jason, up here, the Rock Island line. This is the hometown, right down the road, and the history of that particular rail line spreading and growing is great, and it's pretty cool stuff. But big thing that trades up here are Rock Island watch fobs, Rock Island line watch fobs, and the guys have found some of them. I have not been fortunate enough to find a Rock Island line, but I did find a Switchman's brass key from Rock Island.
Oh, let's see. I find a lot of luggage tags from Rock Island. Some of these.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice to find those. It is. But yeah, I mean,
and with those being the Rock Island luggage tags, I assume that they're numbered like many of the other ones.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get any that were fairly low numbered?
Yeah, well, not a whole lot low. Bear with me for a second. I have coonhounds, and they went outside like right now.
That's all right.
They were saying we gotta go. Time to go. Yep. So,
they're going, hey, you guys are talking about hunting. We got something we got to go do too.
That's right. That's right. I thought the cat was going to drink his monster behind him.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is, I don't know about you guys, but around here, you cannot beat an Arnold Palmer tea. Where we go? Right here.
Oh, never
go. They're amazing. They're half and half. It's probably better when they're alcoholic, but this is just a tea.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm not much of a pop drinker, so for me it's water, a light tea, and of course coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, yeah. You gotta have the coffee too. I'm sure Chuck would definitely agree with you there.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Coffee to get the heart going in the morning. About a half a gallon.
Amen.
Now you mentioned you're with a club, and that your club's having a hunt. Why don't you?
A national hunt. Yeah.
Let me get the paper. Hold on.
Yeah, absolutely. Get the paper.
Yeah. Hold it up. Let us see it. We like to hear about those.
Or read it off to us, and he may even be able to. Maybe if he can scan that or get a good clear photo of it, send it to me after the show. I'll post it up on the Beyond Sight and Sound page.
There you go. This is the stuff we like to see.
That's right. And maybe if we ask him real nice, he might show off one of them finds he was talking about.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I've got them in a case and have to go dig them out.
Well.
It would take me a little bit of time, but
Yeah, we
but
don't
we have
want to
a- we
make
got
you
a
have to
club
do
hunt.
all that work.
Well, I don't want to go dig too. I should have pulled them out tonight, but you know what? I was debating on whether I wanted to do it tonight or Wednesday night to be on the show because I had a hunch that Chuck was going to be on tonight for sure, but we didn't know. But we were hoping
Right.
that you'd be on.
And
here too.
that's why we were a little fashionably late, folks. We literally threw this together like 5 minutes before the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
But hey, that's
So May the 19th.
watch me work. I work best under pressure.
May the 19th, we're having our national hunt in Hoyt, Kansas. We have it every year in Hoyt, Kansas. They're very nice to us about using their city park. We have about 7 fields, and we plant those fields. They're all seeded. And we have a ladies hunt. We have a $50 hunt. We've got a gold coin hunt. We break for lunch for an hour, and we have the dollar hunt and the main hunt. And then we have a major prize drawing award ceremony at 3:00, where you can get all kinds of metal detectors, pinpointers, gold coins from Mexico, you name it.
Now, is this only for club members?
No, this is a national hunt. It's open for everybody and anybody. You can find it online if you look at Topeka Treasure Hunters Club. You can pull the details too online.
Okay.
It's a relatively inexpensive hunt. Some of these hunts cost you hundreds of dollars. And you can spend hundreds of dollars, but our ladies hunt is only $30. Our $50 hunt is only $35 to get in. Our gold hunt's only $40. Our dollar hunt's $35. Our main hunt has everything is $70. And we have a junior main hunt, which is for the kids, for $60. And they got a lot of stuff and we bury in the ground for that. But
so
it makes for a long day.
So with this, it's kind of like people can sort of pick and choose what hunts they want to participate in and just pay for registration for those.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it really is. And, we throw the concession stand on, our club does, and we have lots of eats. We have pulled pork sandwiches, coffees and teas, free donuts in the morning. We have 3 different vendors that show up to selling supplies. One of them is High Plains Prospectors, which is well, everybody knows that online. They're one of the. If you was to take 3 big companies right now, it's going to be Killico, Big Boys, and High Plains. They're everywhere. Well, Chuck, you are too, but I'm just saying, there's a lot of big companies out there right now. The High Plains is starting to grow.
Hey, if they're coming to your hunt and supporting your club, that's a good thing.
And they're supporting the club, that's a good thing. Yeah.
I mean, you can't get that
absolutely.
from Amazon. You can't get that from Cabela's. You can't get it from the other places. The guys that are into it, they'll travel out. They'll support you, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yep. And you get the ones like Amazon and Cabela's and stuff. They'll take a step back when you're like, hey, can you come to the hunt? You help us out? Donate? Nope. But yeah, he's talking. They got coffee. They got donuts. They got a gold coin hunt.
Sounds like a good gap.
Going to Hoyt.
It's good old Hoyt, Kansas. So we get, we get people from all over the place. Colorado, Oklahoma. They come from Iowa, Illinois. There's license plates. It's packed.
Yeah, I was going to say, can you remember, because you've been a member of the club for quite some time, and this hunt this is an annual thing. What number hunt is this? How many years has the club been doing this national hunt?
Off the top of my head, I don't even know if it says it on here for sure. It's been years. And see, they don't even list it on here as far as the.
See, they've been doing it so long, the club forgot how many years.
Well, but they know. I mean, we've had a lot of guys, like a lot of clubs. This club's aging. And the guys that run it are guys that are veterans that have been around for a long time. They've been doing it for years. It's nice to get some new interest that wants to be the officers, but it seems to be like a lot of aging clubs. The same guys are doing it every year for 20 years in a row.
Yeah. And we see that a lot with a lot of the clubs too. Yeah. And that's really interesting too. I like that. You've got 25 years in a hobby yourself, and you're talking about the the long timers that are long in the tooth, the veterans.
Now, do you have a limit to the number of people that can enter?
Oh, absolutely
Good.
not. And the kicker is, if Chuck, if you come down and you wanted to get in at the last minute, we bring extra coinage to plant in the ground to seed to adjust to that change.
Wow.
There you go.
Now that's not something you normally hear about with a hunt.
Yep.
Nope.
We want to make for sure that everybody's ready for something. You can never guarantee you're going to find something, but the majority of people that show up are going to find something, some more than others. And,
right.
Yeah, we have silver halves and we have some that are not so silver halves, but everybody is very happy with their, every hunt. Nobody ever complains.
Sounds
I gotta say, if I'm out hunting in a park or something, I don't. If I dig up a $50, I don't throw it back in the ground just because it's clad. I mean, if I'm going to dig it up like that, I'm taking it home.
Amen.
All that clad adds up.
And, after it's all said and done, everybody goes back out after the show's done and they look for leftovers. And, one year there was, we paint coins and we put a number on them for the big prize items. And sometimes people don't find them all, like every hunt, you always hear somebody, there's a coin still missing out there, you guys.
Right. Tokens get missed or a big coin.
And we've had coins that were found 4 years after the hunt, and we still keep that prize. If it's a high dollar prize and it's a metal detector, we don't give it away. We hold on to it because there's a chance somebody's going to find that.
Oh, wow, that's different.
Now that is, yeah. I've never heard of a hunt doing that necessarily either. At least not 4 years so long.
Now they had to be signed up if, say, a guy went back.
Yes.
He had to be part of that. Found a token, turned it into you. You look him up. Oh yeah, here you go. Here's your prize.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So,
that
doesn't happen very often. Maybe one time that's happened with the metal detector. Many pinpointers, but and then our club. I don't know if your clubs that up in Illinois do this and all that, Josh, but we have we bury $50 on so it's a plastic coin roll sleeve, but we put a sharp end on the end of it, like a cone for a rocket at 4th of July time, and we pound it into the ground and we hide it at a park somewhere. Well, the person that has to do that gives clues. The clues are on paper and they're in rhymes. We take these to the club and we hand a rhyme clue out each week, each month until the found's found. And when it's found, it's worth a silver half every time they find one. And then of course
I like that.
I Club does a lead bar, and it's stamped Illinois Iowa treasure hunters, and they give clues each month. Until it's found, then the finder has to go out and bury it and give the next year or the next go at it clues. So we do something very similar.
Yes.
And for the person that finds the lead bar, is there any sort of a prize other than the honor of hiding it?
Two silver rounds, two walkers,
Yeah, we do one silver round, but this time around, last month, we had a guy up in Lawrence, Kansas that is not a club member find it, and he says he's going to give it back, but he wants nothing in return because we offered him. We said, we'll still give you a prize for finding it. We just want it back. And he goes, no, I don't want nothing. He goes, I was just happy to say that I found it.
Very cool.
That's cool. I can see people checking this out and hearing Jason talk about the group hunt and everything and getting some ideas for maybe their club hunts.
Yes, there's always ideas. Yep,
sounds like you have a very nice group.
And ours is rain or shine, so if you come up here and it's pouring down rain, the club, we don't stop the hunt for nothing. So you better have your metal detector as waterproof or have a nice wrap to put around it, because the show goes on.
For any element.
That's right. We do the same thing.
He does it.
Very cool.
We do a private hunt in the fall. We have a outside barbecue event at our private location, and there's no charge to enter that as long as you're a club member. And we plant a lot of coins, and everybody has a heyday in the fall too. So we actually have 2 hunts a year, but only one of them's a national hunt.
There you go. There you go.
Wow.
You got to
Sounds
keep it
like a
real.
fun time.
Yep.
Sounds like
It
you
does. It does sound like a fun time.
Yeah.
Well,
Sounds like a lot of stuff to be had for the people that are out there too.
Chuck, was you using your pinpointer in the water? Was you using that new Profine?
No one using the Profine. I was using the new Nocta
Point.
The Nocta, okay.
and it did phenomenal. And it was underwater. It was on the beach. Tiny stuff. I mean, some of the little earring backs. I got several of those. The gold ones.
Yeah.
That little 8-inch, you just hammer them, but trying to sift them out, so I just take that until it gave me a reading, and I ran it in iron setting. And man, if it was a piece of iron, it just null out. I was messing. It does exactly what they say it'll do.
Yeah, it's
good
very
pinpointer.
responsive in that respect, and I'm sure Jason's probably had a chance to play around with it a little bit too.
We're gonna take it down to we vacationed down in Missouri to a place called the Current in Jack's Fork River, which is a very deep natural stream. It's all spring fed water, and everybody loses cell phones, rings, you name it, in the deep water, the clear water. And we're going to dive down and we're going to test the depths of it this year. That's our plan. But
Good.
so
Now,
far,
do you hookah or do you have tanks?
we hookah. We don't have tanks. We never have used tanks. We should, because the water's deep in some areas, and you can look down and see things that are down deep. And I'm talking, pretty deep. I mean, we're talking 25 foot.
Oh, so the visibility is great.
So I should scuba dive with tanks on. I should.
What's that water temp like? Is that?
Oh my gosh!
Right now it's probably pretty cold.
Yeah. Well, it's a constant. I think don't quote me on it, but I think it's 56 degrees constantly coming out of the caves that feed these streams.
Oh yeah, you did say it was like a spring.
One of the caves, if you look at online and you look in the United States, the deepest spring that has a cave attached with it, it's never been found as far as how deep it really is. They've had divers go down as far as they can, and they could never find the bottom, the end of that cave. And I forget which one it is. Not Roaring, maybe it's Roaring Rivers. But every year they have a diving club that dives down, and every year they go further. And they've been doing this for years, and they never can find the bottom.
Wow.
So it is
so they keep pushing the limitations, but they just can't find the end.
Can't find the bottom. There's no end. It's down there somewhere, and they keep on squeezing through little holes. It gets deeper and deeper and deeper. But you got to be careful, because coming out of that, you're never guaranteed.
Nope.
Yeah. When it comes to cave diving, it's dicey.
Yeah.
That can get a little dangerous.
You got trout fishing there, Jason?
We have trout. We got rainbows. Missouri's they're doing really good about putting rainbows and browns in Missouri in these streams, because they're so cold.
Mm-hmm.
We have smallies, and we have the normal bluegills and all that in there too. So we have a lot. We have a sucker fish that are in there, kind of like a carp. But yeah. Lots of good fish there too.
Cool. Sounds like a good area. There's some people on the chat here saying, like Mike said, he's been there several times. Some other people have too. So
the Current River, yes, the cold water.
The Current River.
If you ever get a chance to go to Missouri, definitely check out the national park called Alley Spring. They have an old mill there. It's been there forever. It's all original. And it is a national park. They got an old school on the ground. They got a park station. The spring is right next to the mill. It's incredible. The water's blue, like blue water you've seen, Chuck, down on vacation. I'm sure it's the same color blue. That's how deep that spring is.
Only a little cooler than the blue water you saw.
Yeah.
I'm sure the blue water Chuck saw was quite a bit warmer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, there was one interesting find that Chuck had made in the water. That was more of a line of sight find, wasn't it, Chuck?
Yeah.
Can't beat it. Can't beat it.
No.
Wow.
Yep.
Yep. Coon dogs. Coon dogs.
My volume
And
off.
for people that haven't got entered yet, they may want to drop back and check out Sunday's stream, the stream last Sunday. That's the launch of the Silver Stack giveaway that we've currently got running, where they can get themselves entered for a chance at the Silver Stack.
Well, what do we got to do to enter?
They've got to go back to the live Sunday's last live stream, the one that was Sunday, 2/25/24, I believe it was, launch of the Silver Stack giveaway, and leave a comment on that video. You can make whatever comment you want. Let's keep it clean, but you can make whatever comment you want as long as it contains the phrase Silver Stack. And that'll get you entered into the drawing for the Silver Stack. And if you say if a friend had told you about it and they were entered too, and you get drawn as the winner, well, your friend wins a little something too. I just don't know what yet. I haven't decided. We'll see. We'll see.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely. There's been some people getting entered into it. A lot of them were entering that night right after the stream.
Nice pile of silver too to be given away.
Hey,
yeah.
Our other special guest just showed up. Here she is, right here, right here, right here.
Oh, I hear her.
Oh, there's Melissa.
Oh,
Hello.
hello. How you doing?
Hello.
Sorry, guys.
Wow, good deal.
Oh, that's good.
She went out tonight, and there's a gentleman that we know in Topeka, Kansas, that's dying of cancer, and he's never accepted Christ into his heart. So tonight, Melissa went to the house, and he wanted to accept Christ. So she took the time to bring the Bible and bring Christ into his heart before he passes on.
That's very considerate of her.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Very, very good. Yeah, definitely. It's well, and I guess especially for that gentleman, never too late.
Never too late. And I feel like his moment's coming, and maybe he thinks it is because he's really been concerned, and he's shown a lot of interest, and you just never know. When you have cancer, it can take you one time, or you might last for months. But he's been going downhill.
Yeah. Well.
So
that's unfortunate. We hate to hear that about people.
Yeah. And Stephanie's and all the rest, God bless him. And God bless her for that. That's pretty cool for him.
Oh, I'm so excited.
We are
excited.
We have cats and dogs. We love our house pets. We are a pet friendly family.
Good.
Hey, nothing wrong with that at all.
And they're all rescued except for one. We've rescued, pretty much every one of them.
Good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good on you. Very good, guys. Very good.
Do any of the dogs ever go detecting?
I can say that I have not had them go detecting, but I'm also a trapper, and I have had my dogs with me trapping before. And I've always been leery about them getting in a trap set for a coyote, but they're at attention to what's going on.
Good.
And they don't run off like some coon hounds. I've had some hounds that were dedicated hunters that would go out for a mile and leave me, but these ones will stick around.
Yeah. Well, this is nice.
So they don't like to stray too far then.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then we have our daughter. Oh, come here, baby. Come here. Our daughter. Our daughter has a little. I call it the rat dog. It's just the cutest thing you ever see. And that's a rescue too, you guys. We have a lot of Guatemalans in this area.
Oh, now look at that.
And And they bring dogs and they don't want to take care of them. They put them in a pen with chickens and they don't feed them. They throw them scraps out of the garbage. And Melissa can't stand to see it, so she went over to the house and she demanded them that they give the dogs up. And they said they're $500 dogs. She said, I don't care. She says, if you can't take care of your animals, give them up.
Right, if you're going to treat them like that.
And they gave them all up.
I did. I got the mom, I got the dad, and I got the puppy too.
Yeah,
good.
Here's our kitty Marshmallow.
Yeah, Marshmallow.
He's a rescue too.
They've been seeing that cat on the tree behind them.
Yeah,
it's like Wild Kingdom.
Yeah, it is. We have quite a.
And they all get along.
Yes. Everybody's well fed. Everybody's taken care of. They're all happy here.
Good on you.
Yeah.
That's good on you.
Hello.
Yeah, definitely. That's the amazing part, to get that many of them in one spot and have them all get along.
Yeah. But we are at capacity. Our town does not let you have more than what we have for dogs. And we have a nice big backyard, and we also have a dog park. So they get their
exercise.
To go out.
Good. And you do a lot of trapping.
I do trap. It's a dying thing. Metal detecting is still strong, but trapping's not. Fur prices are down low.
Yes.
And fur buyers are getting fewer and far between. So, trust me, it's hard to swing both things. When I trap, it's in the wintertime, and I like to metal detect in the wintertime too. So I have to find time, and it's tough. But as the markets change,
and if you're running a large line too, that can be a job in its own right there. Just keeping all your traps monitored.
Just keeping up with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Our properties out there, we trap the rat and the beaver, and nobody's doing it, and we're overrun now with a lot of problems with the beaver, that kind of stuff, coons, and nobody's doing it anymore. The market is way down.
That's what I deal with.
Animal numbers are up, way up, and then people complain.
Right.
Yes.
So it's a catch-22.
Yeah, that's true.
But
it's hard to find that balance.
I'm sure some of the members there, I never had a chance to ask you guys, and maybe Josh and Chuck, maybe you guys are too. But do you guys ever take part in that group called the Lost and Found online? They charge you $5 a year to join, because like any page, it costs money to retain it, the website.
Right, maintenance fees.
It's called lostmystuff.com.
I have not.
I used to be on there.
See?
I'm not.
You pay $5 a year.
And that kind of stuff, but I don't do that. I've got a network here in our Clud City area. People we'll get calls and messages. We've got a lost ring. We go do it. Or they'll call me here because metal detectors or over at R&R in Bettendorf. So there's been quite a few calls, and they'll call me and I'll head out and we'll return it for them.
Right. And I've got my own local recovery page on Facebook that people find me through, or word of mouth, like they find Chuck through. And then I'm also listed on TheRingFinders, but I may be letting that go to the wayside pretty soon too, because it can keep me busy enough just locally.
Yeah. So I participate with that, and I also do the roll of tokens page. Every time I find a token, I like to cut it.
Yep. I've had a couple posts.
Oh yeah.
I found a token here in Holton, Kansas. This town was founded in 1865, and I found a token that advertised a prescription company, a doctor's office in town, that the Historical Society has no record of them being in Holton. But they produced the coin, the token, and I found it, and it's very readable. It's one of my more valued finds too, because it was so rare. But they were ecstatic to see it because they put it in the book and said nobody's found this yet. And I went to the Historical Society, and they said they would love to have that. And I said, well, I know you would, and maybe a time I might give it to you, but for now, I'm taking pride. It's going in my display case.
Right. For now, it's just fine in my collection.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
When you find them like that, there's some to be proud of for sure.
You did pretty well, it sounds like, for your area. That's cool. And you got a couple rare pieces and pieces that surprised you. That's metal detecting. You just don't know what's going to come up.
You never know what the next fine's going to be.
No,
you
dig it
don't.
all. I don't dig it all, but there's times that I do. If somebody says, "Hey, I need to find my ring," you know, I'm looking for a certain signal for that, of course. But there's other times they want to see everything in their yard, and I find myself doing that too sometimes.
Does your wife detect?
She does.
Yes,
In fact,
I do.
she was asking you last time around, Chuck, before vacation time, about what a lightweight detector. I've had her hold the Deus before, and she's used the Equinox before, and those are light.
Mhm.
She's got fibromyalgia, so
Yeah.
you can understand the pain in the arm sometimes.
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All too well.
Well, do it if
I'm
you
sorry
can.
to hear that.
Yeah. Good.
She helped me find a. We attempted to find a ring. It was an unsuccessful attempt. But the long story short, this was a deputy sheriff. His wife lost the wedding ring, and it's my friend's daughter, and they said, "We know Jason metal detects. Have him come over." So we went over there. I took Melissa too. We looked around. We hunted and hunted and hunted. We couldn't find it. And I says, reflect back, and what'd you do that night before when you found your ring was gone?
Exactly.
And she says, well, we was going through toys and throwing away toys. I said, I bet you one of your toys has got that ring inside of it. And she went back and she found that ring inside one of the
Good on you.
Nice.
Yeah, trying to help.
Good job.
But we still tried to help.
Yeah.
Out. We still tried. We did.
Cool.
Hey, you know, you gotta do what you can, no matter which way, shape, or form that help comes in. You still assisted in the recovery.
Shannon, the page is called rolltokens.com.
Or even token catalog.
Yeah, token catalog too. Yeah.
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 That one, I know I've got a few on there myself on token catalog.
But it's
they used that in actually that one token they wanted that on the page and they put it in the book. So I got a rare one.
Right.
It's fun to find those rare ones. It really is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
I had a guy, I'll tell you, there's always a story, right? Every town you go to, right? There's this little town called Willis, Kansas. Population, like, I think it's 79 people. There's only a very few small houses left. It's like a ghost town in the making. But there's a park there. There's a co-op there. And I was metal detecting on that. And the guy that runs the co-op comes over, and he would not leave me alone. And he says, what'd you find? What'd you find? What'd you find? Follows me around to every spot. So finally I stopped and I says, look, I'll be happy to show you what I find, but let me finish my job. and he told me, he says, the reason why I'm hounding you is because if you find this token, there's only one token that's been found in this town that has to do with the convenience store back in the 1800s. And I'm the finder of it. If you find one of those, I want to see it because I don't want somebody else to find one. I want to be the only one. I said, oh my God. I looked at him and I was like, I'm probably not going to come show you what I find, and I'm not going to leave. So just let me do my job. Let me do my.
Right.
But he would not give up. There's always. But I didn't.
Wanting to run interference, so hopefully you didn't find.
He was trying hard, and I did hunt a lot in that, but it's been cherry picked, and I find wheat pennies, I find Indian pennies, but I didn't find any silver. And I looked hard, but everybody stopped by and told me, "Oh, you hunt this. He hunts this. Everybody hunts this."
Hey, Jason, what's your soil condition out there in Kansas?
Oh, we have clay. We have a lot of clay, and we have a lot of dark loam.
Okay.
But we've had moisture like a lot of you guys have had this year, so we're blessed. I mean, yeah, we had a freeze overnight. Last night it was 14 degrees here.
Same here.
So yeah, and tonight's going to be 24, but 80 degrees on Sunday. And with all this moisture, great, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got the moisture because
We got
Panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma is burning right now.
Yep.
They're dry and 850,000 acres have burnt.
Oh man.
Homes, businesses. So high wind and dry.
Isn't it funny how last year it was Canada on fire and now it's it just changes every year, you know. Some days it's California.
Yep.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And you never know where things are gonna show up like that, unfortunately.
yeah.
And with the record temperatures that we've already been seeing this year, people are already out making killer finds.
Yeah.
Dennis was tearing it up here recently, him and Kevin both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Dennis
think,
and Kevin have been out well.
Yeah, Dennis got a, I think it was 2-cent piece the other day.
You guys ready for dinner?
Those 2-cent pieces, man, you find them. They're out there for sure. In the fields around here, they plow them up and over and over again. You know, I got a field just down the road, about 2 blocks literally from my house. I'm on the edge of town, is the old 1800s fairgrounds. And it had a horse race.
There you go.
Oval horse racetrack. It had the actual fairgrounds and all that on this area. And the farmer has a rotation: corn, soybeans, corn, soybeans. So every year he does soybeans, you can bet I'm knocking on that door. And we find
right, yeah, it's always easier to hunt the soybean stubble than it is the corn stubble.
And we give it a break, but you know, again, the coins we find a lot of times they're destroyed. I mean, even this. Oh,
That's right.
even the silver is kind of tarnished sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dogs.
It's unfortunate. All you can do is try to save them while you can, where you can, when you can.
That's it. But and it's been hunted so much. We've had guys. It's funny where the ballpark used to sit down there. There used to be a ballpark stadium. Is now they've ruined the ground. They poured concrete down. They made a roadway, and they covered all that ground up to where you can't metal detect on it anymore. And so all that lost. Now there's a guy that metal detected the heck out of that field row that sits next to this ground, and he's found so much silver. But I can say it's been hunted out because I can detect it year to year to year and never find not one dime, not one quarter, nothing. But
wow,
you know, it's just worth in. And that's just years and years. I mean, just think about all the years. You know, go back to the years, all the detectors, the compass detector, the old White's detectors. They've been detecting for years. And some of those old machines were really good because the coins were shallow. They were good machines too, but just think about how much more shallow the coins were 45 years ago than they are now.
Right. Well, and you figure back then too, discrimination really wasn't all that good, so they were digging everything.
We're digging everything, and so, but hey, you know what? Sign of times, things change. I'm fine detecting the way I am now, and digging down deep, and like you guys know, every time it rains, get out and do it.
Oh yeah, yeah. And after the thaw early in the year, you got all that moisture in the ground. Maybe it heaved a little bit. And the different machines, the technological race, we're all winning in the field. Better technology now, more refined hunting techniques by some people.
Look at this now, Chuck. You heard about? I showed Josh the other day. Garrett's got a new storm coming up. Did you see the release? Yeah. KG and Ringy supporting the hat. Yeah. So you gotta wonder what's this gonna be about. What do they got in their bag?
I don't know enough about it to speak well. All I know is about it. That's it.
Storm.
They're
well, and
pretty tight.
And I was saying, and people that were following the show, they remember last year I was saying for a while, we're going to see something out of Garrett here pretty soon. I know it. I was a little late though. I thought we'd see it before the end of the year, and now here we are, first part of 24, and now we're starting to hear the rumble about it.
Yep, a little bit. You know, R&D and then development and then testing and then fine tuning and getting it to the point that they aren't getting a lot of callbacks when they release it is a tough thing. And we've seen it in many different detectors out of many different companies. They get out there, they rush to get it out, and then a whole bunch of them got to come back or something's wrong or they're sending updates and it isn't working out right. So it takes a long time, sometimes from the time it was developed on paper to the point that it's in a tester's hands, 5 years.
Yeah.
6.
And I mean, I'm sure both of you guys know, we saw it a little bit with the AT Max, and we really saw it with the Legend, so much to the point where Nocta won't give a date on any release now. And we're starting to see that more and more from all the companies. Nobody wants to give a firm, we don't want to give a firm date and be up against the wall and have everybody grumbling.
Look at MindLab, man. MindLab made a mistake like that over and over again. They lost people because of that mistake.
Yeah.
Did, promising and not giving it out.
And we even and we even saw it most recently with MindLab with the release of the MANTICORE coils. They didn't want to give a hard date on it. And that's what we're seeing now from all of the manufacturers.
Yep.
But I don't know. There's something to be said for anticipation.
That's right.
That's it.
You know, they'll advertise something in bits and pieces 6 months before it may even hit the market. Or longer.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say it in some situations,
you know.
I mean, won't necessarily mention any names, First Texas, but they touted things for years where we started to wonder if it was like Santa Claus. We'd hear about it, but nobody was seeing it.
Nobody was seeing it.
Yeah.
They finally came out with the
that's the way it goes, though.
They're still working on their they were going to have an advanced PI machine.
Nope.
Yeah, their hybrid, their VLF PI unit.
Yep. So that hasn't made it to the show yet. So we'll see what they've got going.
Now, Illinois has got I seen an advertisement the other day about a big metal detecting show coming up in Illinois. Something new this year. You got any details on this?
That might be more on your end, Chuck, or even John Ramos's end. He running the IMDA page. He may know something about that, but I have not heard anything right off the top of my head.
I seen just the advertisement. It's supposed to be first annual. I wish I would have snapshotted it and sent it to you, Josh. Gosh, dang it.
I might have recognized it then, so I know it's not Digfest or anything because it's
going to be a vendor show. Like we're going to invite MindLab, Nocta, Garrett, and it's going to be like what they have in Vegas, like just an overall show your all your gear.
Oh, so kind of like an exposition,
like a sports show.
Like SHOT Show, trade show,
big trade show.
Huh.
Maybe up in the Chicago area. I don't know if everyone's still on.
Yeah, I was going to say that would tend to lead me to think Chicago.
Yeah. Could be down there.
I'm not sure what it would be, though, right off the top of my head.
I'll bet you maybe somebody in our group there in the chat may have seen the same ad I've seen. I should have snapped it.
Yeah, it's possible.
Josh, and check both.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a friend that he does some deliveries for trade shows and things like that where, I don't know, maybe I'll have to check. Maybe he's heard something about it. I know the last time he had to make a delivery to one of those shows like that in Chicago, he was a little leery of that because they had him unloading on a rooftop dock.
Ooh.
Something about that just automatically kind of puts you a little on edge when you're thinking you're taking a loaded semi truck and parking it on the roof.
No, that puts me on edge. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, I mean, it almost sounds like a hold my beer and watch this kind of story.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer, and we'll get her done.
Yeah, he got her done though. It was interesting. He sent back pictures from being on that rooftop dock, and it's like, yeah,
Oh, no.
you could be certifiable.
Goodness.
Oh, gee. What do you think, Chuck? You think he earned his shirt?
Sure he did.
It's been a pleasure. You know, I had a lot of fun tonight. I wish I would have had. It was so kind of unplanned, unknowing that I would have had a lot more stuff out to where I could have showed some things. I've got so many, wedding rings and bands and stuff that I found, gold and silver. My favorite find here at this house. We bought this house in Holton. I was hunting the tree in the front yard. It's an old tree, and about 8 foot to the south and the east, I hit a really deep gold coin token, a gold signal, and about 8 inches down, I found the biggest damn gold class ring I've ever found. I mean, it sounded sweet.
Nice.
Nice.
Showing up a 14 on the Equinox, but I found it too, the 800. and I dug down and I pulled it out and I washed it off because first thing I seen was gold shining out at me. It was plain as day. And then I researched the name inside and I called down to Florida and talked to a classmate of the class that was in the ring. And he told me, well, Jason, I got sad news. He goes, the guy that had that ring died the year after the year that was in that ring. It was 73. So in 74, he passed away. He goes, but I have to tell you is you can find his brother. His name's Kerwin McGee. And guess what? Kerwin was the city manager of the city hall. And I called him up and I said, hey, I got something I want to give to you. I said, it's going to be important to you. I don't expect to get to keep it. It's going to be yours. When can I meet with you? And he said, well, what would you possibly have? My credit card? I said, no. I said, but I promise you, you'll be sweating. You'll be so happy. And, you're nervous.
Right. You'll want that.
I showed it to him and I gave it to him wrapped up in a bandana. And he opened it up and his jaw dropped and he's like, oh my gosh. He goes, I know exactly what this is. He goes, this has been lost since the year that he bought it. And he's been gone forever, past his brother. And he's like, wow. He goes, where did you find this at? And I told him, and he told me exactly what happened. He says he had to be washing his car by this tree. He had a hot rod car back in that day. And he probably just fell off his hand and got trampled in the ground. But
not seen again.
He pulled his wallet out that day and he goes, well, first you offered it back to me. And I was like, no, I don't want it. This is not mine. It's yours. I would never accept or keep a ring that means something to somebody else. I don't care. I mean, it's yours. And he says, he pulls his wallet out and he goes, I ain't got nothing in my wallet that's worth what this ring is to me. So he says, I don't want your money.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that had to have meant the world to him.
And he says, I'm gonna clean this professionally. And I'm gonna give it to the grandson.
Oh, nice.
At Christmas.
That is very cool.
I found silver ones before, but this gold one was it was a nugget, man. It was huge.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's when you say, you know what, you get that professionally cleaned and you give that to the grandson and you send me a picture of him wearing that ring and you can consider that paid in full.
He said, what do you want for this? I said, you know what I want? I want a picture of me handing this ring to you so I can show the club, because I'm not going to show this to the club. This is yours. I just want to.
Right. Yeah. Pictures or it didn't happen.
Good.
And I did. And yeah, so that was a magical moment for me. Ring return's always nice, right? I've given all my rings I found, I've given away back to the person that found them all. This is the only
absolutely. I agree. I'm sure Chuck would too.
That's it.
You got it. Yes.
That is something else.
Right.
Well, you've earned your shirt now.
Yeah, I was gonna say if he hadn't before, that definitely ought to earn it for him.
It was it was a
And
price.
those are very limited.
Yes.
Now, does your wife want one?
Oh, do you want a
I
Shooters
do.
and Prospectors shirt, a T-shirt?
I do.
Oh. I'll add one for you.
This is what I did with all the buttons I found.
Look at that birdhouse. She likes to be artsy crafty.
I've got one that does the same stuff.
Oh,
Artsy crafty.
boy, if Tam's watching, I'm in for it now.
Yes, you are.
She paints rocks too. This is incredible. The
She's got
color.
on with you. She's been working
Oh,
on her birdhouse in the back, and
I paint rocks. Too.
Yeah. She
you
does.
paint rocks. Cool.
We go to
Nice.
vacation to Missouri and bring back river rocks, and she paints them and she gives them away. And she never sells them. She gives them away to people that want them.
Oh,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll send you each a shirt.
Thank you. What
Thank
size do you
you.
want, Melissa?
Yeah.
I'm about a medium or a large.
Let's get you. These are 100% cotton.
So,
Yeah, I was going to say, let's get
And
her a
no-
large or maybe even an XL so she's got plenty of room to breathe in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to remember they're 100% cotton, so
you
don't
can't-
tumble
you
dry.
can't dry them hardcore in the dryer.
Gotcha.
Tumble dry on low.
I love my dryer.
Otherwise, you may have a shirt for the cat.
Large.
Oh, you guys have been wonderful tonight.
2XL or XL.
Yeah, XL for me and
Yeah,
probably
large.
large for her.
All right.
That'd be
And
awesome. Chuck.
Send your shipping addy Josh for me, and we'll get you out
Okay.
a shirt.
Hey, look at that. Isn't
Oh,
that
awesome.
nice? Yeah.
Yeah, see, check
We'll have
that
to
out.
send you a picture of us wearing them.
One of these years when you go up to Alaska
Yeah.
for your gold hunt, Chuck, we're gonna be coming along. You wait, it's coming. I promise you that.
I hope to be
Oh, there you go.
going
Yeah.
back and getting the whole crew up there again. We're going back this summer, and it'll be a good time. And
Oh, yeah.
hopefully, I can introduce you to some of the miscreants of Nome, Alaska, some of the prospectors. It's not a town that you're going to go to and expect to see skyscrapers. It's a mining town.
Yeah, it brings a whole
Yeah.
new term to roughing it.
So,
But it's neat. It's a good place to go.
Yeah.
You want to get out. If you want to get away from it all, you get away from it there.
what we want to do. I mean,
Maybe even a little too far away, though. You got to keep an ear out for the bear.
people probably get lost there, and I imagine getting her back would be impossible. She'd probably want to stay forever. I'll
Probably.
probably be come back on myself.
I would love to. I love that.
I'm getting
That's
a kick out of
awesome.
round and back. I mean, that's
I wouldn't let him go back.
Or,
I'd make him stay with me.
yeah,
He'd
or
be miserable, but I wouldn't be.
okay, guys.
oh, you guys.
Well, thanks.
All right.
Thanks for being on. We'll do it again, Jason.
Yeah,
went
maybe
over
next
an
time
extra
we can
half
have him
hour.
show some finds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get you organized and get you on, but you stepped up. You stepped up to the
We'll,
plate.
we'll give him a little more forewarning than
Forewarning.
5
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
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 My friends out there, step up to the plate. Come on, show us what you're finding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk detecting and whatever else it is you do and what you've done for people. That's the kind of news we want to listen to anymore.
It's neat. Hobbies are a wonderful thing, and there's so many cool hobbies out there. Some are
Absolutely.
Some are dying, breeds, and
Right.
some.
Yeah.
This is one thing that will never die is metal detecting. I mean, you can
Dude.
hunt.
Still growing.
Even when we go to Mars, I won't be alive for it, I'm sure.
Yep.
But you know what? At some point in time, it'll continue on there, and there'll be some kind of mineral that it's probably worth more than gold.
Right.
Somebody will be finding it.
Somebody's looking for it.
So something
Right.
worth more than gold. I got to lead someone to the Lord
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah.
So
There you go.
There you go. Well, guys, I got to back out of here.
Okay. We're a half hour over, so I'm sorry, guys. It was fun. It was fun.
It was.
Hey, that's all right. It was a great time, and I'll try not to give you such short notice next
You're
time.
right.
There you go.
All right. Well, thanks for dropping in with us there, Jason. And you get them shirts, go ahead and shoot us a picture and post it up on the page.
And we'll get up there.
Thanks for
We'll come
taking
out
the time to
sometime
be
to one
on
of your
with us tonight, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'll come out there.
We'll get up there. We'll get up your way sometime and do a hunt. I never get out too far to the north, but always to the south. But we'll come up that way sometime and get some of your seated hunts up that way.
Yeah.
I like it warm.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, you go to Aruba then.
Well, best of luck to both of you. And yeah, there you go. Best of luck to both of you, and especially to Melissa. I mean, try to make it as easy as you can. So I guess we'll catch you two another time.
All right. Great show.
All right. We'll see you, Jason.
Yep.
Take care, buddy. Night all.
Well, that was a good time, Chuck.
Yeah. We're gonna get more of our. We've got quite the crew here, watching all the time in the comments,
Yes.
and everybody's got some stories to tell, and everybody's got something to show. And whether they're talking about crafting or whether they're helping people out, that's the type of news we like to hear. Bring it on, and that's why we like this. So, let's keep going. Some of you step up to the plate. Let's hear about it.
Yep.
Okay. So, hey, bud, have a good
And
night.
it was definitely good to hear some of Jason's stories.
Yes, it was. All
right.
Take care. And I'll back on out of here, my friend.
Yeah. Good to see you back, Chuck. You have a wonderful evening.
You too.
Wow. That was something else. I know we got off to a little bit of a late start there for folks, but we appreciate everyone for hanging in there. Like I said, I was literally throwing this together last minute, and we ran a few minutes late trying to get Chuck worked in as well, with him getting his internet updated and all of that. But hey, I like it when a plan comes together. And even though it was short notice, it came together all right. So if you enjoyed the show, throw us a like. Go back and check out Sunday's live stream, the launch of the Silver Stack giveaway, to find out how to get yourself entered into the Silver Stack giveaway. Morgan Silver Dollar, Walker Half, Silver Washington Quarter, and Mercury Dime, all up for grabs to one winner. And that is all courtesy of Mike Lacquamet, Metal Detecting, Central Illinois. Check out their group if you have not already. And then obviously don't forget our friends over at Detect America, Can You Dig It, Jersey History Hunters. The list goes on and on. We've got the Beyond Sight and Sound page on Facebook. The podcast side is available through your podcast distribution services. And, my timeline, Metal Detecting, Beyond Sight and Sound group, yada, yada, yada. We're out of here, folks. Have a wonderful night.
We sure are glad you found us here tonight. Thanks for dropping by and joining in. If you like metal detecting, treasure hunting, gold prospecting, or even entertaining discussion, check us out Wednesdays and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern, on your favorite podcast distribution services.